Okay, we're gonna go over the mid-unit 2 test review. Number 1, it asks you to tell whether the expressions are equivalent, which means the same. Looking at number 1, A, you can see this one is already simplified, so let's look at this one. You can distribute. Negative 7 times y is negative 7y, and negative 7 times minus 2, using the Illuminati, two negatives is a positive, so it'll be positive 14. If you look at these side by side, this one and this one, they are the same. Okay, 1b, check these two expressions out. You can combine like terms on this one. 10k minus 12k is negative 2k, and you bring down that 6. This one is 2k plus 6. These two look the same, but this negative 2 is multiplying to k, and this is a positive 2 that's multiplying by k. So those coefficients are not the same. That's a no. The next one, you can see this one's simplified. This one needs to be simplified. The first step is to distribute this one. 2 times j is 2j. Positive 2 times minus 5, or negative 5, is minus 10 plus 15. And you can also see that this is a j, and these two are numbers or terms that are not alike, so you combine these two. Negative 10 plus 15 is positive 5. Bring that 2j down, and you can see that these two are definitely the same, so that's a yes. Okay, let's look over here. Number 2, we need to figure out which of the following here is going to be equivalent, which, remember, it means the same as this expression. Select all that apply. So there might be more than one or none. The first step here is to distribute. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 8 is minus 24. Right there. And then you bring down that 4. Okay. And then you can also see this is a minus 24 plus 4, which means 3x minus 20. Okay, let's see which one looks the same. Well, this is my final solution, 3x minus 20, so I know it matches D. I can also see at the very beginning, my first step, 3x minus 24 plus 4, that also matches this one, A. So it matches 2 of the expressions below. Okay. And you can also see this one doesn't have the 4. These cancel out. Definitely not the same. Okay. So fill in the blank. This is vocabulary. This should be in your notes. So a blank is a combination of numbers and or variables separated by operators. So numbers that are a combination, things that could be, so this is a number 3, let's say, and a variable 3x. If I had these together, each of these would be called term. So there, it's a term. These are terms. Okay, in this expression, which one's the coefficient? Well, there's 4 parts here. We know this part right here is called coefficient because that's the one that's multiplying to m. M is something we don't know. It's an unknown number, which is called variable. And right here, this plus is called the operator. You will have this in your notes. And the 17 is called the constant because there's nothing changing it. The 6m, the variable, changes this number all the time because we don't know what the variable is. The 17 is constantly 17. So the coefficient is 6. The variable is m. And the constant is 17. Oh, can't see it. There's 17. Okay, over here, number 4, make sure you read directions. It says write in words what each inequality means, and then don't forget to graph it. So write in words and then graph it. So here, this looks like the loser sign. Remember our loser, that L for loser. So this is less than or, and there, that little sign right underneath it is equal to. So X is less than or equal to -5. -5. So that's the words, and we need to graph it. We need to put 0 so we know that, okay, that's the center of our open number line, and then we have that -5, which is right behind it on the left. We know that X is less than, so all the numbers that are less than -5 are the ones to the left. So all these numbers on the left will be less than. So here's the question. Is this going to be open or closed? When it says equal, we know that it could actually equal -5 because -5 is less than or equal to -5. So we close it because it could be equal to it. All right, next one. X is this thing to 2. This symbol looks like this one. This one means equal, and when we have the slash, it means not equal. So X is not equal to 2. Okay, so those are our words. Now let's graph it. So here is our number line. There's a 0, and it's not equal to 2, and 2 is about here. Right. So every number that's not equal to 2 is an answer. So 0 isn't an answer. All these numbers on the left and the right will be not equal to 2. So 2 is the only place that is not going to work, because we're asking here what numbers are not equal to 2, and it's everything but 2. So everything on the left and right of it. So it's not equal to, so that's why it's not shaded. Equal to, we shade. Okay, let's go to the back. Okay, we're solving for X. Okay. We're going to separate it with the vertical equal sign. We don't need to justify it, but I'll show you just in case. The first step is usually CLT. There's nothing to CLT. There's nothing to combine. So the next step is to do ADPO. That means we can add or subtract something from both sides. We want to get X alone. So let's subtract 6 on both sides. And we have 3X and -12 minus 6. That's a negative number going down more. They're going down together. So you're adding 2 negative numbers. So that's 18. And then it's staying negative. It's going more negative. So that's called ADPO. After we ADPO, we can see if we could multiply or divide. It's called the multiplicative property of equality, right? So what we can do now is 3 is multiplying to X. So the opposite to make it go away is divide by 3. That goes away. And what is -18 divided by 3? Well, since we're multiplying and dividing, we need the Illuminati. A positive and a negative will leave us a negative. So 18 divided by 3 is 6, and that'll be a -6. Next one. Oh no, we can't combine like terms, but we have something here, these parentheses. That means we need to go to step 0. Step 0 is looking if there's something we can distribute, and we can. So that's -4x, and -4 times +2 is -8 because of the Illuminati. And there's that 16. Okay, so we distributed. Nothing to combine like terms, so now let's do ADPO. We want to get X alone, so let's take 8 and add it to both sides. We have -4x. 16 plus 8, that's 14. That's 24. Okay, so we just did ADPO. And, oh, don't forget that. And here, negative 4 is multiplying to x, we need to make that go away. So we use the multiplicative property of equality. Hey, we can divide or multiply something on both sides. And since it was multiplying by negative 4, we need to cancel those negative 4. And then we have x alone, like it wanted. And then 24 divided by negative 4 is negative 6. Okay, let's look at number 8. All right, so make sure we have our vertical equal sign. Okay, step 1 is, can we distribute? No, so CLT. Nothing to combine here, so we just bring that down. Something to combine here. We have 3x minus x. 3x minus x is 2x. Bring down that negative 5. Okay, so combine like terms. Now let's see if we can add things on both sides. Well, we could. We can deal with the numbers or deal with the variables. Right now I'm just going to deal with the variables. So I'm going to subtract x on both sides. And that's called ADPO. And that's 5. 2x minus x is just x. And let's bring down that minus 5. And looking at this, I still want x alone. X doesn't want to be subtracted with 5, so it needs to add add 5 on both sides, which is called ADPO. And then we have x, and 5 plus 5 is 10. You can always go and check all of these, but it's not required on these. You could check on your own if you want to make sure I did this right. Okay, so let's look at number 9. This is worth a lot of points because you have to actually justify it. These you didn't have to, but I just wanted to let you know the steps that I took. So make sure you split this up just to help you organize the equation. So first step, we want to see if we can combine like terms, and we can. We can combine negative 7 and negative 8. Negative 7 minus 8, where it's negative and it's going down more, so that's negative 15. There's 5x, and let's bring down that 10. Subtracting those, that's called combining like terms. Here, we want x alone, so after we CLT, we need to do the additive property of equality, ADPO. You see ADPO. You can cancel that out. Then we have 5x here, and 10 plus 15, 0 plus 5, 1 plus 1 is 2. And x wants to be alone, but it's being multiplied by 5, so we need to get it away, and the way you get away multiplying by 5 is dividing by 5. Then we have x alone now, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. And that step right there is called multiplicative property of equality. Okay, so there's a checkbox. So this is worth 1 point. Make sure you do it. So here is our original equation. Remember, it's the OG equation. That's the one we check. So bring it down. We have 5x minus 7 minus 8 equals 10. What you should do now is we found out what x is. It's 5. It's no longer a mystery. So we plug that in. So it's 5 times 5, right? Minus 7 minus 8 and 10. What is 5 times 5? It's 25 minus 7 minus 8 and 10. A lot of you will be tempted to combine these first, but remember you're supposed to go left to right because this whole thing is called PEMDAS. So we have to make sure we do things in the right order. Okay, 25 minus 7. Well, 25 minus 7 on the side. Well, 5 can't subtract 7. Borrow 15 minus 7 is 8 and 1. So that's 18 minus 8. Bring down that 10. 18 minus 8 is 10. And 10 equals 10. So we did it right. And that's how you check. Okay. Last problem. This is worth 5 points. Okay. So we have La Cumbra and La Colina. They're having a food drive to collect canned goods. La Colina students have collected 22 fewer cans than La Cumbra students. Together, both schools have collected 180 cans. How many canned goods Have luck.